Because they get all the, they get movies first run, and they have theaters actually in the Middle East where it's like a Cineplex, and 24-hour day movies, they just go for free and all the big ones. Isn't that neat?
That's pretty cool.
It's part of their taste. It's the taste of home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diversion
Right.
from the...
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, good to see you on the big screen. Everything, let's see, everything looks good. So, I mean, you've never stopped working, but I feel like we haven't really seen you in a while. Maybe you're doing other things?
No, I've been working, but I do a lot of independent films. I remember somebody who was emceeing the Oscars a few years ago, and Michael Caine was up or won an Oscar, and I think it was Billy Crystal.
Okay.
Said introduced Michael Caine, said an actor who never saw a bad script, because he does everything that comes along. I'm sure you know what I mean? He works, and I'm sort of the same mind. So, but that means a lot of those films you don't hear about again after they wrap, because whatever. So, but I have been busy.
Well, and now you and Michael Caine are both in this movie.
Yes.
So we know you're both working.
Yes, yeah.
Tell me about how you got this role.
I was called, and the script was sent to me by my agent, and I said yes, and then I showed up.
How do you describe this character?
He's deep into senility, his age, maybe has a touch of Alzheimer's. I think he was kind of a confused person, never anchored really in his own life, and just trying to hang on and be useful.
Is it difficult, though, to play that kind of a role where you do have maybe the possibility of Alzheimer's, and we're all so sensitive to that now, to make sure that it's not a caricature, that it's a real person?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel he was, he's obviously productive in his own limited life. But I didn't feel it carried it to being offensive, and I didn't really feel it had to be that accurate. It's just like he's not kind of in touch. He loses the sense of what's going on and how to adapt to it. I just wanted to emphasize that kind of confusion. He's confused.
Had you ever worked with Morgan Freeman or Alan Arkin or Michael Caine?
None of the above. None of the above. And it was such a treat. I mean, the first day on the set, to see the three of them sitting there, they were huge to me before that, and to see them all three together was extraordinary.
I guess fans think that you all know each other and you hang out.
Yeah, we're out clubbing every night. I guess they may imagine that. I know they imagine a lot of funny things.
And of course, Zach Braff is a young director.
Yes, that was perhaps one of the most amazing discoveries, because we were in a Shakespeare in the Park, 12th night in the park years ago, and he was in the cast. He wasn't directing, and we shared a dressing room, and when I didn't know he was directing this film until the day my first day on the set, and it was like I was taken aback, and I'm very impressed the way he's working with a very experienced cast, and he just had great poise and level-headedness and imagination, and was totally in command of the situation. So I think he's great. Yeah.
Did you get a little time, at least off camera, with Anne Margaret?
No, we were never called on the same day.
That's another thing. We think you just all go out and have drinks after.
Yeah.
Not so
Maybe
much.
tonight.
You started on the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and yet you became an iconic television actor in part because of Taxi,
Yes.
and then in the big screen in part because of Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, and 3. Are you where you thought you would be when you started out?
I didn't think I'd be anywhere near the kind of success I've had. When I was in acting class back in the 60s, I would hope that I wouldn't be asked to get up and do anything. I'd be kind of watching the clock and hiding behind somebody. I did not, something impelled me to keep going on and on with it. But I didn't know this was going to happen. That it was going to turn out as well as it did.
Was there a moment when you said, wait a minute, this did turn out pretty well?
Yeah, but I never have that much security. I've got some offers at the moment. I'm like, that first time you get up in front of a character with whatever you've brought into play, makeup, manner, that first take is like, is this going to work? Or is the director going to take me into a corner and say, Chris, we got some work to do here, which is a horrifying thought. I'm still that way.
Really?
Because you don't know until you get, whenever you think up with the costumes and you get everything arranged, the makeup, and he walks with a limp or whatever, and until this happens in front of the camera, the crew, because they're pretty smart, they've been around, they've seen a thing or two, so yeah, really.
Well, you got it right in Going in Style. So I think you're going to get some more work.
Oh,
maybe
good.
after this.
Good.
So what's our takeaway with Going in Style? How do you describe this movie?
I think it's a wonderful, humane, human story about people of a certain age, and I hope that it'll appeal to younger people as well, because it's life. There's a lot of humor in it, but it's real, and I love that it's kind of dedicated to us.
I drink to that. I don't know. I don't even have a drink, but for some reason that sounds like the appropriate thing to say.
Yeah.
Would you like to give a message to the troops all over the world?
Hey,
Thank you to the shout out to the camera. Would be great.
Hang in there. Hang in there. We love you.
Thank you so much.